Hello, I am A.L. Starks, and welcome to my podcast, Two Sides, One Solution. Two Sides, One Solution, where we look at all things mediation and we help you see the bird's eye perspective, the drone perspective of situations so that we can get to that one solution. Unbiased, very objective in our approach to this, but we're helping individuals see that mediation is so powerful and it can work in so many ways to help healthy development of relationships, healthy creation of what I call executive peace in environments, especially corporate level environments and governments related entities, which surfaces back into some of my background. But I know that it is possible and it's feasible when we allow ourselves to create this harmonious, what I call supercell, just like our weather system gives us great insight into what we can create in a more peaceful way. And that's why this particular start of the podcast, we have been focused on the subject matter of little fires and how those little fires can create an atmosphere of chaos if not dealt with proactively and um, instantly. So when we talk about it, that's where we allow ourselves to gain those skills and that ability. It also gives us foresight into the future when we sit with things and we look at what was past. Right, we can't probably go back and change it, but if we sit with it, evaluate it, the things to come get dealt with in a better light, right? We just don't want to be on autopilot and miss moments that can be monumental to our advancement as a person, as a people, as a community, as a world, as a family, um, in so many ways. So that's what I love, what I do. As a mediator, I feel that I have always had a desire to allow people to have voice and for us to sit with each other and really talk about that respectfully, because it is possible. I believe that working together works. Like we can really do this thing. Um, but it takes effort, and this is just one of my ways to present an avenue and a platform to really, really, really talk about what's needed for us at this time. So, Little Fires, we are in for part four. I'm excited about this series. If you've joined so far in episode one, two, and three, you'll see that I've kind of built up starting from 5-year-old self to 10-year-old self, 15-year-old self. Today, we're going to be talking about 25-year-old self. So, I started this out with just scenarios for me. But we're gonna quantum leap a little bit to from 15-year-old self to 25-year-old self, now in corporate America, now into adulting, now into really seeing what this pathway has been in recognizing voice, leadership, abilities, how to put it in its rightful place, how to associate it with people and teams. All those things are trying to come together a little bit more in this young adulthood walk now for me. But at the same time, we're still on this same subject matter for the whole series, part one, two, and now part four, one, two, and three, and part four, finding that voice when power is uneven. That was the premise of Little Fires, finding the voice when power is uneven. And we've seen that throughout every scenario, and it's not going to be different today. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. This situation that we're diving in today is related to when you're leading without the title. And it evolved around a time when I was out of college, graduated from college, and now I am a executive at a large, if not the largest, grocery retail grocer in the United States, right? Grocery store chains everywhere. And I entered their management program. as a young adult in my early 20s or mid 20s, right? Started early 20s. But this scenario, I just jumped. I did the five. You see that 5, 10, 15. Went to 25. Still at this company, fresh out of high school. I think I started there at 23. Um, and to work through what it looks like to be a young professional with this position as manager and management, and what it looked like in a multi-level $1 million producing store per week. Like the volume was crazy at this store. And although the training program was amazing because it took you step by step through every department in the store, and you had, once again, a bird's eye view. You could successfully mediate what was needed on a daily basis in every department in the store because the training was so thorough and comprehensive of what was needed for you to be successful. I mean, hands down, it was a great training program. Although when you finish the program and you get into the store, there's a whole nother thing that you have to encounter, because it's not just about the title. Not the title. Leading is not the title. People make the title, right? People, you leading people, you allowing yourself to have connection with people and learn them and to know them and to hopefully develop a relationship of trust, so that the authority is earned and not just given. And I had to learn that as a young adult, like just thrown into it. And it was difficult because nothing in my degree, in the courses that I took in my 4 years in college, prepared me for this role. Nothing at all. So it made you wonder, like, okay, did I waste my money and my time? Because I didn't gain anything that would help me in these scenarios. Um, but once again, it's one of those moments that you're in the situation, but you learn and you grow from it, and it helps you be that leader that you need to be as you lead others. And so for me, that was very integral as a young adult. And I'm glad that I learned that then. Although I was thrown in the fire, it didn't seem like a little fire at the time. It seemed like it was overtaking me and destroying me. But it was a little fire to help develop me into the leader that I am and that I will to be, right? So, in those moments, it was difficult because we going to the different departments. I was working with individuals who were basically could have been my parent or my grandparent. And so for them, in their perspective, in the moment, I didn't see it. I just saw it as me being rejected and not being heard. So if you have not listened to episode 1, I would encourage you to go back, and to just find that little person in you, right? As a leader, who was that little girl and that little boy, that the first encounter where someone made you feel unheard or rejected, or that your voice in light of the authority was not valued. Where was that? And so I can truly say, by being in the management position at this store with people who were my senior and my elders, to then be their leader was very difficult. And how do I navigate this? No one taught me that. As I mentioned, there was no course in college that taught that. And so you just sometimes have to be in the midst of the situation and grow from it. And recognizing that I had to lead basically without the title. Um, and that bird's eye view now, hindsight 2020, is looking back to see how, um, from their perspective, it was accurate. We've been here 20 years for some of them leading in this department, and you're coming in as a fresh young person out of college, have never really been in this store in the capacity that I have, and you're trying to tell me XYZ. So then that takes a whole nother leadership style of listening. Back to episode 1. Listening is a leadership game changer. So if someone could have gave me this that simple nugget of go in and just listen to the people, listen to them, see what their methods are and what they've done for years. Can hopefully it be tweaks per adventure? Absolutely, it could be. And I know sometimes when people have done things for such a long time, they feel as if they can't master it. But we're changing that now, even as we're talking, because we're being mastered as leaders. It is a perpetual process, and you may have a system that works well, but being challenged with questions and methods to add to that to make it better, all important. And so I definitely had to learn that and recognize that although I had that, you still have to lead without the title. So you're able to gain what is needed among the people that you're trying to lead and get them to the place that you're wanting them to be is so important. So knowing that you're serving in that seat, kind of as that mediator seat there as the leader, definitely integral in the process of what we're doing. This is the question I want to pose to you because every episode I've been asking some questions or presenting them so you can sit with it. Am I confusing title with leadership? Am I confusing title with leadership? So, where are you in your leadership style? And are you sitting comfortable with just your title and not recognizing that that is just totally separate and different from leadership and how you have to interact with the people that you're leading and what growth areas potentially you have to stretch yourself to be in, to sit in comfort despite the discomfort? That's how the growth happens. So ask yourself that. Jot that one down. Sit with it for a little bit. Am I confusing my title with leadership? So important. Here is the solution for my scenario that I presented regarding me, just leading there in management in that grocery retail industry. The solution is not waiting to be validated. The solution is leading with alignment, not permission. And so for me, in that position, I had to just even recognize that yes, I probably was looking for validation for sure, especially at that age and not knowing what was what and being fresh out of college and starting the career that I began there. It was important for me to recognize that you don't necessarily have to be validated. Are you aligned without the permission to stand in your role in this store, your role in this store? What would I tell the 25-year-old me, right? What would I tell a 25-year-old that may be watching this that is trying to navigate being that leader and you're trying to create executive peace in environments that you're leading, and not just the 25-year-old, the 50-year-old, the 75-year-old? This still applies for us to not confuse our title with leadership and to recognize once again the solution is not waiting to be validated in any manner, but the solution is you leading from the alignment of your position. How do I align myself without that permission, and to listen to my people and to talk to them and to not provide those overwhelming consequences to scenarios that maybe I have not really communicated well, would be the best route to go. So all of these led up to every episode that we have done thus far. And we're kind of culminating it here with part 4 of us looking at this part for ourselves. Because here's another question I have for you. Where am I already leading without permission? So that you're not waiting for validation, you're already leading that in that manner because it's not about the title. You didn't ask for permission. You're leading genuinely. Why? Because you are a solution. You are leading genuinely in a specific area. And so it's very important for you to allow yourself to recognize that it is beyond the title. It is beyond the title. It is me leading with all of these components, looking at the bird's eye view, the scenario, and recognizing that there's two sides to this, but there's one solution. Absolutely. So important for us. I wanted to share something with you all today, this episode. I want you to, if you can go to Amazon actually, and you can just type in executive peace. Just type in executive peace. This book will come up. You will see me on the cover of this book. I want you to go ahead and purchase this book. If you have not already purchased this book, this is going to be a game changer for you as you lead. I am just going to mention just chapter one off the bat because self mastery before strategy. You have to have the self mastery of yourself as a leader so that you can then master leading others. There are practical things in here that can actually help you lead well in addressing conflict in a proactive manner, that we're no longer allowing it to be a wildfire, but we're taking the little fires, that we're being attentive to them. We're listening to the little fires. We are not giving consequences that have not been set out as standards for little fires. We are allowing our people to grow in expression so that they don't have to leave us, like I talked about in episode 3, that they don't have to leave because their standards are being compromised. Their moral compass is being compromised by being in your environment. What are you establishing as the peace standard in the areas that you lead in, whether it's your home, whether it's in the community, whether it's in your business, whether it's in the corporation, whether it's in government, wherever you may be, high lows, low high, it doesn't matter. Where are you leading is so important. So I'm encouraging you to get my book because we're going to be talking about it from time to time here on the podcast. And I want to hear some feedback from it for sure, as well as just other opportunities, workshops, webinars that I offer for individuals who are in upper level executive positions. We make sure that they are equipped to lead because they're doing a great work. Leadership is not easy, but we need you, especially if that is your gift and ability. But everybody leads in some capacity. So I'm grateful for the podcast because it gives us just some practical day to day tools to utilize because you never know when you're mediating, because we do it all the time. You just don't have the title. You have not been validated. You haven't done it, by permission. But there are times that you do lead. As I mentioned, even last episode about my assistant coach who actually served as a mediator. He probably would have never said he's a mediator or that he went to school for it or that he's certified to be a mediator. No, he just used a skill set. And so I'm honored to be able to come before you and educate you on ways to make us have healthier relationships and environments. And my first and foremost, that we are making ourselves better. So please join me at any time by submitting your scenario. Submit it here for me, to me, because you are going to be my special guest all year long. I'm so excited. I already have gotten a few that I will be bringing here in the coming episodes. So I'm excited about that. All you have to do is just email 2s1s at elastingsolution.com. In the subject line, you could put podcast. Your submission is anonymous. You can change the names if you like of the scenario that you're presenting, but it is anonymous. So I'm looking forward to having your scenario submitted so we can talk about it and come up with that one solution. Thank you so much for joining because I do know that you are a leader of leaders, and I do recognize that you are a solution. And we are going to make massive change together as we create executive peace. See you soon.